A very warm good morning to all who are present here. It is a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to this virtual webinar on research to protect our health and environment, organized as a part of our Silver Jubilee webinar series. Prayer should not be regarded as a duty which must be performed, but rather as a privilege to be enjoyed. I request Ms. Jayalakshmi of 2nd BSc Biochemistry to present the prayer song.
सत्यव्रतं सत्यपरं तु सत्यं सत्यस्य योनं निहितं च सत्ये सत्यस्य सत्यं उतसत्यनेत्रं सत्यात्मकं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नाः वाणी गुणानुकथने श्रवणौ कथायां हस्तौ च कर्मसु मनस्तव पादयोर्नः स्मृत्यां शिरस्तव निवास जगत्प्रणामे दृष्टिस्तथां दर्शनेषु भवत्तनूनां नमो भगवते तस्मै कृष्णायाद्भुतकर्मणे रूपनामविभेदेन जगत्क्रीडति यो यतः.
The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things, said by Ronald Reagan. I take this opportunity to invite our head of the department, Dr. P.T. Srinivasan, to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Very warm good morning to one and all present here. I welcome all the participants from various colleges in and around the city and the staff members of the various colleges and our esteemed speaker for the day, Dr. Kumaran Shanmugam, who has gladly accepted our invitation within a very short duration. That shows his passion towards the topic, the research, and his willingness to interact with these college students and other fraternities in sharing his expertise on this environmental related topics, which is a very need of the hour, we should say. On one side, we have this corona pandemic, healthy related issue that is going on throughout the world. But for all times, we are having this environmental problem and various types of problem. And year by year, this problem is increasing. And there are a lot of problems that are associated with this environmental invasion. We have ozone depletion, we have desertification, deforestation, loss of biodiversity, and disposal of waste. So all these things are really creating a problem. And although the awareness about all these problems is increasing every year, still the problem is also parallelly increasing. Awareness is also increasing, problem is also increasing. The awareness is not able to address the problem in the proper way and try to stop or reduce the type of problems that we are encountering in the environmental. So today's session is going to be very much interesting and very much relevant to all these type of problems that we are facing today. So we have with us Amish, great professor, Dean of Research and in charge in Periyar Maniamma Institute of Science and Technology, deemed to be university organization from Tanjavur. So this the webinar that we are going to have today will be of more relevant to us, especially to second year BSc students. You have a paper on environmental science, EVS paper. So you should be paying more attention to what is the content of this webinar, and you should take notes. I will ask your class teacher to collect reports from all of you. So all of you, those who are attending from second year, have to take all the notes from, of course, professor cannot ask you questions. You have to ask questions to him, whatever doubts. We will ask you questions from whatever you have learned from this webinar. So with this small introduction, I once again take pleasure in inviting Dr. Kumaran Shanmugam and the participants from our college and from other city colleges, staff and students, head of the departments, to this wonderful webinar on research to protect our health and the environment. Thank you one and all for giving me this opportunity. Over to the organizing team.
Thank you, sir. Science and everyday life cannot and should not be separated. I now request Mrs. Maria Carolyn, Assistant Professor, Department of Biochemistry, to introduce our speaker of the day.
Happy morning to all. It is a great privilege bestowed on me to introduce a stalwart in the field of scientific research. Guest for the day, Dr. Kumaran Shanmugam, Associate Professor and Dean Research, Periyar Maniamai Institute of Science and Technology, Tanjavur. It's indeed a great privilege for us, and let me unveil his credentials to you for inspiration. Sir, having his foundation in chemistry and environmental science in Bardhasan University, his passion has led on to earn two PhD degrees, one in environmental science from Anna University Chennai, and the other is from Charles University Prague, the nation of Czech Republic. His passion of research is very much great that he has a lot of his credentials, his publications, patents, and the projects is endless indeed. We need another session to list all his works, but then I would present a brief, in brief, his research and all other works. He has a patent published on the sequential processing of hexagonal reactor for biodegradable hospital waste, and also the reactor for biodegradable hospital waste. His design application has been registered, and the Sir has completed almost 11 major and minor projects in various capacities as principal investigator, supervisor, co-supervisor, and all from fellowships and grants obtained from various scientific institutes. And his minor project on graphene and plant seeds coated clay pot to address the water scarcity issue in remote villages by removing salinity and suspended solids is in progress. Sir has got many publications in reputed peer-reviewed journals, the national and international level. His citations is of 658, and his H index is 12 and I-10 index is 19. And he has also published chapters in Springer Group of Publications. He is the recipient of various medals. To state a few, he has received the Gold Medal Special Performance Award from Periyar Maniamai University, India. And he has also received the Endeavour Medal from the Ministry of Education from Australian government. And he is also the Innovation Ambassador and has received 3 badges from the Institute Innovation Council, supported by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. And he is the president of the Institute of Innovation Council in Periyar Maniamai Institute from 2018 till date. And his career graph, it began as a chemist in Enchem Enterprises, has elevated in various capacities to associate professor and dean of research in Periyar Maniamai Institute of Science and Technology. And he has served and is also serving as a journal reviewer in various reputed journals, and he has guided scholars at various levels for BTech, MTech pieces, and also MPhil and doctoral scholars. He has various publications also. So, as I told you earlier, it's a big list, and I've just portrayed a few for you. And let us move on to his talk, which I'm sure is going to enlighten you and inspire you also. Over to you, sir. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and we are looking forward a mind-blowing session from you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for the kind words. Thank you, sir, for the kind words. So, thank you very much for the management, and very happy to be part of the Silver Jubilee celebration and to share my knowledge and experience, and also if you ask questions, I will also learn from your questions. I'm looking for that. I hope it will be useful. So I'll be going through the slides one by one. So if you have doubts, you can stop me in between or in the end. It's up to you. So thank you very much. So I'll go to the presentation. The next slide. Yes. So the content is going to be for today's presentation. So is it moving, sir? Slide, sir?
Yes, sir, it is moving, sir.
Yeah, great. So we had a collaborative research and publication with the University of Iowa in the USA, and the study on indoor air pollution. That's the first few slides I'm going to show. Then next is my postdoctoral work, which I stayed for 2 years in Osaka University, Japan. So I'm going to put on patterning of biomolecule on substrate. Like we worked on silicon. So we also work after coming to India on DNA methylation. It's a global DNA methylation. People in biochemistry, they may be understanding. If you're following Ledinger, it's very good to follow Ledinger. All of your biochemistry students, definitely you should have a copy of Ledinger with you. So it's like a CPG Alliance that we are going to talk. We did not work in the gene level. So that's we got a cancer tissues from Tanjore Medical College, and one of my PhD scholar, she has completed this, and we had a finding, but it's not still to the best level. So detection of diabetes in the early stage, I hope I have the slides here. Recently, 1 year before, we have collaborative publication with the Central Electrochemical Research Institute. This is my second PhD work. From we do analyze polyaromatic hydrocarbons. You know that from exhaust there is a polyaromatic hydrocarbons is going to be emitted. So we are dealing with that. And also like World Intellectual Property Organization, there are online courses. It's a free of cost. Please do that. I would encourage students as well as faculty members. So it is it's a good opportunity to know about IPR from WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, which is located in Geneva in Switzerland. It's a distance learning courses. You will get a certificate. I will be sharing that, so you can, if you are interested or if you have doubt, you can ask me. There is also course. It's a cost around 300 rupees. I will not say it's more or less. It's up to the each one individual. It's better. Also, it's one of the leading lawyer from. She has written it, and it's good to even a school children can understand about intellectual property organization. Okay. Just a moment, please. I'm just going to the next slide. Okay. As I mentioned, with the University of Iowa, we have collaborated for lung imaging with the primary cooks. So we have recruited 22 cooks, particularly all of them are women, who have a habit of cooking biomass as well as LPG cylinder. So some of them were earlier they were using LPG cylinder. Now sometimes they do occasionally. Earlier biomass was there, now LPG was there. So something like that. There is mixed. So the primary effect is we have shown that a very simple method. We don't want to disturb their regular activity. We put a sensor there. In the air, you can see a small sensor will be there collecting indoor air pollution, and we also have a mat which is somewhere nearby place. So it will be settled. The dust will be there. So you can see that. Then we take it out using a vacuum cleaner. So we collected it. So we measured the endotoxin. Metals are there. So you know that if it goes to lungs, it's going to be very difficult. That we are saying that in many of the hotels, this can be extrapolated. Many of the hotels are using a biomass one. They think on sometime in the winter, the countries where there is a winter are more, so they use biomass for heating. So they will have a problem. So that's a caution we are mentioning it. So 30% of biomass cooks have an obstructive physiology. So the obstruction was there. So they did not know that. Because of the CT scan, we found it. Now it's a very simple technique we have used it for collecting indoor air pollution. So abnormal physiology was there, endotoxin was there. So as a biochemist, you know that there are and also possible mechanism with the lung injury. So there is a poster. Just I like to. I'm not going to say anything. Just to give you an idea. The collaboration is very important. You collaborate for your problem, identify a problem, and collaborate whoever and in the India or anywhere else, and try to solve this problem. That's the idea. That's why we are mentioning it. Since we have some link there, one of my colleagues who was there did a postdoc in University of Iowa in the US, and he returned to India. So we had a connection. Now we have did this project. So you can see in the lung one LPG cylinder, they were using it. It is a green color, and whereas the people who have biomass cooking, you can see the yellow color. It's very sad to see this picture. So you can see the lung, the condition is there. Many of them are a non-technical person, or in the they are working. Some of them are working in our. It's nearby a small hut lung place nearby our institute, and some of them were also working in our place. So it's very sad to see this lung. type this. So you can see I already mentioned that the black carbon was there, endotoxin were there, metals were there. It's all very dangerous for them. So in our house, even we are using LPG cylinder. For our mother, we should also always have a proper exhaust. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem for us. So that is a point. Then the second two publications we had, we also, because some of them, one of them are a person from Chennai, and he is now living in the US, part of this project. So he did some image analysis and also simulation. So they say it's also QCT. So this, they did some observation. You can see exposure to particulate matter from biofuel combustion. So like it goes there, inflammation is there, regional lung density, and CT imaging demonstrate and a diffuse increase in lung density is there. And we have one of our colleagues also there. If he sits sometime, suddenly he got a obstruction in the breathing. He started snowing. All of them, we will be thinking that he's sleeping, but actually, even if he's listening to the meeting, he'll be doing this. So it's all quite dangerous for in the long run. So now I'm going to my postdoc presentation, which I did in Osaka University. So it's an acknowledgement to Professor Tachino Ishinobu, who has been trained by me for 2 years there. So I did AFM anodic oxidation technique on silicon. That's a point. So it's more on chemistry as well as some amount of electrochemistry, some amount of biology. So we took a silicon as a semiconductor, as a substrate. Using this, we made oxide dot. So I'm not even go in detail. If you're interested, I can tell you. So what we make SiO2 because you know the silicon, there is not natural oxide is always there. So we clean it using a chemical, then we make oxide dot. So you know as a biochemistry, you can understand hydrophobic, hydrophilic. Phobic means doesn't mean like. Philic means water like. So the repellent and so on. So you can see the difference. So this is a way we can. Hydrophobic will have a thin lines. Hydrophobic have a thin line. Hydrophilic will have a thick line. So that because of SiO2, generally we have a humidifier. I don't know how many of you have experience on it. Water can be H plus OH minus ion in the air. So this will conduct bias applied voltage. Then you can make oxide dots. So this is AFM atomic force microscope in a Dellinger book, which you are following it. It is there in the book somewhere in the first chapter. A atomic force microscope. So we use it in the biochemistry to image the biomolecules. So it's very useful. It was very popular. Now it is not popular. So right side machine, which we have it in our Tanjavur. So you can see that positive patterning of this publication in 2011. It took almost 4 years to publish it after my postdoc, because we did ferritin and fibronectin. Ferritin probably as a biochemistry you can understand from biology. It's an iron storage bank. Whenever our body needs iron, it releases it. So it's very important. That is why we are taking dates or iron rich one. Fibronectin, it's a molecule which is a long, it's adhesive molecule. So as a biochemist, you can also understand it is a wherever there is a cell, fibronectin will be there, or ECM protein, extracellular matrix protein will be there. So what fibronectin is one of the proteins there. So we did some pattern. So always you try to explain as a schematic diagram. I have been learned from one of my colleagues, Dr. Shiv Kumar. So always you have to draw something and explain science or technology in a simple term where even a layman can understand. We take a silicon, we make a passivation, we make anodic oxidation, we put another chemical APTS, aminopropyl trioxysilane, then put glutaraldehyde, finally we put fibronectin and ferritin. So idea is to build self-assembled monolayer and put the molecules on the top side. So it's like biology. So as a biologist, you know that hydrophilic, hydrophobic, the concept I already mentioned. In hydrophobic, it's more on, you know that molecules or proteins are based on the shape. So it is elongated, semi-elongated, or string in whatever shape. So this plays a major role in our body. So wherever we take image, we need to acknowledge. So wherever I acknowledge, this image is taken from someone else. So ferritin, I already mentioned what is the role of ferritin. So we taken because of its a very circular one. It's almost like a 12 nanometer. So 12 nanometer is for nanotechnology. If you are working, it's very easy to measure and you can visualize it. So I already mentioned about all this individual one. Left top one is oxide dot. and you can see then next is APTS, then glutaraldehyde and ferritin, so on. So we can see the very closer image, one dot, so 1.5 nanometer, then we make a small 3.2 nanometer, then we go glutaraldehyde, it's a rough structure, and ferritin molecules are there. So ferritin molecules are modified. You can see the ferritin which we have studied. Now we are seeing by our eye. So our understanding gets better. That's the idea. So you can see that it's a closer view. So we imagine using AFM. It's one of the tools. Like we can say other ways, SCM. There are many other instruments. Generally, we say SPM, scanning probe microscope. These tools you can use to image the surface. So you can know the difference between the surface and the topography. Surface, if you take a substrate on a SEM, scanning electron microscope, if you see the image like something like this, it's the surface. If you see from the top, it's the topography. You will see the ups and downs. That's the point. So fibrinogen already mentioned, it's like a DNA. It's a long chain. It can be like a 170 nanometer. So it can, based on the base pair, it goes, the length goes. So it, like you can see, it's a structure which is like a gum, adhesive for cell. So this plays a major role. It through cell interacts with the outside through ECM protein. That's the point. So I would like to put a point like a negative and positive patterning. Very simple. If you put a biomolecule on the top of oxide dot, that is a positive. If you put everywhere except oxide dot, it's negative patterning. Very simple. So positive patterning more precise, and negative patterning is like more or less it's general. So negative patterning, this is acknowledgement from my colleague group. They have done this negative patterning. When I go there, because they gave the challenge of doing positive patterning to me. So, and this again, they put a DNA and they connected DNA with the oxide dots. So DNA is connected everywhere, and as you know that DNA can be stored in the normal room temperature for many years. That's the idea. So you can see DNA wires can be there. If you have a DNA of someone else, you can store it and keep it for many years in even a room. You don't need a special, like cell line, you need a special, like you work on tissue culture, you need a special lamps and so on. It's not necessary here. DNA can be stored in a room temperature. It's stable. So you can have a many person DNA in a small chip, and you can read whenever you want in the future. That is possible. That's the idea. So immobilization of DNA along with arbitrary path is on the surface. So it's the results were given to the outside world. It's probably someone will be using it. That's the idea, because we don't go for a product base, but now we started working on product base, because if you really wanted to have your own company or your own product, now you should put your scientific finding as a product while solving it, and the social problem also will be solved. So before leaving Osaka, Japan, we visited Hiroshima. Probably all of us studied. So this is before bombing on the left side, and you can see bombing after that. So the nuclear bomb was there. We have studied in atomic bomb, and so if you visit in future to Japan, definitely you can visit Hiroshima. So this is you can see still the human being with some defects. They are giving a birth that. So after coming to India, like it's not so easy to do AFM, because it's very expensive machine, and also to maintain it. So we did some one of our our institution is one of the 6 institutions in India to run MTech nanotechnology. So supported by DST Nanovation. So one of our students I was discussing. So he had an idea taken from a copper wire from a mouse, and he made a indigenous one. So Government of India likes to generate our own instrument for healthcare, environment, all everywhere. So the foreign instruments are very expensive. If you start making our own instrument, automatically the company from abroad, they are reducing the prices. So that's the idea. So try to do indigenous instrument in your field. So could be a diagnostic chip, or probably you know that protein estimation we do a Lowry one. So the most, even Nobel Prize winner would have not more time cited, but Lowry have been cited many times, because almost we use the Lowry for everywhere. So we from this work I was discussing with one of my colleagues. I already mentioned collaboration always makes better. So I was telling I'm looking for a collaborator for a copper wire to make etching. Not etching. I said I was looking for a mechanical one. So he said no, I can try for etching because he is now in South Korea. He worked here and now he's in South Korea. He said he took this idea and we collaborated and he made some etching. I'll show you in a few slides there later. So we also did some review. We keep doing some review because sometimes, the doing research, we need a money. So of course we can spend some money from our packet also, but not much. So we always do such, when we tell, so we did some review and we publish it. So this will also help to understand for students to understand the knowledge in a specific field in depth. That helps. So we see, and there is a company in Nano Innova Technology from Spain. They manufacture such products like you can see now in the next slide. So they have taken a silicon, they made an oxide dot. Each oxide dot will have a specific antigen antibody binding. So in one drop of the blood, you can analyze more number of diseases and so on. That's the idea. Okay. So we did some intermolecular force between AFM. So one of my colleague I mentioned, since you have AFM, why don't you use AFM force distance curve? So this is quite interesting for a biochemist because I'm going to explain. Please see that whether you can understand. Because you have a tip there is a red color, and you can see, tip is yellow color, cantilever is red color, then it's a gold one, so AU, thiol group is there, then we hang an enzyme there, and we measure a force between enzyme substrate in a piconewton. So you know what is Newton. Newton force, when you touch by a finger, is a Newton. When you piconewton is 10 to the power minus 11, you can see the small amount of interaction we are measuring. Of course, we did not measure it in a liquid mode. So there is a one famous or very expert is there. He is in Austria. He did almost like close to more than 500 publications in this area. So we discussed with him. He told us there is a drawback here. So this is a work we did, and there is a that in biology there is an enzyme substrate or specific. In chemistry, any molecule will react with any other, whereas in biology it's specific. So we played with something, and I will be not going in detail because then it will take some time because almost like 50% slides are there. So I did 4 months Endeavour fellowship from Australia. So I visited to Adelaide there in Flinders University. I stayed with the Professor Nico Group. So there I learned etching using on silicon. So earlier I was working in a flat surface, but after I went there, I did etching on the flat. So I combined, we tried to make a biosensor using a porous silicon biosensor. So this is a 4 months, in research is a very short period, but we did some level to be successful. And I did some of the measurements. You can see the ports were almost like 100 nanometer. It's uniform. So this is achievement I did, but it could not be able to publish. But what I did, earlier experience, I make oxide dot on silicon surface. I combined together and I made it a nanolithography. But still, we could not publish it. It's unpublished, and we need to move on this. So we do some schematic diagram. Everywhere you explain the scientific concepts with a schematic diagram. So this is the way it goes. So is it my voice is clear, sir, ma'am? Sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Almost we have come to the 50%. So we did take a porous surface, etch the surface, and we do some modification. Finally, we measure a biosensor there using interferometry. So if a biology student, you as a biochemist, actually you can dominate. If you study biochemistry, you will be studying fundamentals of physics, fundamental chemistry, and biology together. So definitely you have bright chances if you do well. That particularly if you master Leninger, I think it's more than enough. Not only that, you need to study principles of physics and chemistry. So before leaving that, I visited Sydney Zoo. So you can see in kangaroo, it's sleeping there. So there people its excess in the numbers. So porous silicon biosensor, we did not do this work because quite risk doing in our country without facilities because it can etch our lungs. So we did a small work with the Central Electrochemical Research Institute, and this was published in a conference in Singapore. So we did some drug delivery chloroglene using this. So that's a work. Then we did also started doing some silver nanoparticles work, as many of nanotechnology they do it. One of my colleague from Dr. Shivkumar, who did some work there, we collaborated with them and we published antibacterial activity against human pathogens. We did some work. Now it's possible to put it there. So he has taken a bead and put a silver nitrate. You take a silver nitrate and put anything, it will be reduced and you will get a silver nanoparticle. That's also one way of doing this. So that is a small area. One of my research scholar who did a PhD here with the collaboration with Central Electrochemical Research in Karaikudi. It's relatively closer to us than you because it's like only 150 kilometers away from us. So we did some passivation of the surface super hydrophobic coatings. That means we don't want, if a car is there, we don't want water on the particle, it's repelling it. So you can see that it's a super water contact angle. Probably you will understand what is water contact angle. So it's like a lotus leaf, it's an example. So water will not be touching this. So based on this principle, the super hydrophobic coating. So we can use it in our shirts and a wiper. Without wiper to be there, and there are so many areas out there. Even if coffee is going to fall on our shirt or pant, it's not going to be attached with your cloth. So we did some work that this amperometric diabetic, which I mentioned in a presentation in the beginning, we did with some with the professor, Dr. Madhyasil sir, his group. We are collaborating for many years. This took almost 6 to 7 years. One of our BTech students started his work with this. So this Dr. Madhyasil continued and we published in Microchemical Acta for detecting. Our aim to, so as a biochemist, myoinositol is be in the urine. So if a person is going to get a myoinositol in the urine, the more quantity, so the possibility of he can be a diabetes, he can develop a diabetic disorder. So you know that it's not a disease, it's a disorder. So the person who is not getting a proper insulin is a disorder. It's one of the disorders. So that is idea or area. So we would like to caution this individual that soon you are going to be a diabetic. So that's a way is this is my second PhD work in Charles University in Prague. So I just rush it because it's not most close related with you. That I did some electrochemical work that we measure polyaromatic hydrocarbons. So like 1513 and 18, so on. 3 compounds I worked. We published a couple of papers there from that. So we do some task polarigraphy. That is a simple electrochemical technique. It's you probably know that Nobel Prize winner Professor Hirosky is from this. He got Nobel Prize because of this polarigraphy, and he's a true electrochemist. And the family is there. Dr. Satsivi Raman's granddaughter and Professor Hirosky son. They married together and they are living in Prague. So I also met the couples there, and you can see the ionotropins are there. There's a concentration there, and adsorptive stripping voltammetry there, and so on. So I will just rush it with this because cyclic voltammetry, if you are doing some biochemist, always it's you better to know some amount of electrochemist. So you'll be doing if you are interested in doing research, because you made a biosensor or you develop a sensor for disease and so on. Okay. So there are some fundamentals. So I'm not going to touch on this, and because time is running out, another 15 minutes are there, as I mentioned. So this is the work I mentioned earlier. We took outside that measured one of my colleagues in South Korea. He took Dr. Kathalingam. He took a copper wire and etched the surface, made as a sharp one, and they made as oxide dot there. So we published one in material science, semiconductor processing, and also the zinc oxide was placed there, and another paper was there. So I already given this work. So DNA methylation. So one of my scholar, now she's colleague, Dr. Nazima Bano. She did an experiment on DNA methylation, which she took tissues after surgery for a cancer patient. We did a global DNA methylation. So it's not possible to publish a paper in a global DNA methylation because it will not give any idea whether if you are vegetarian, non-vegetarian, smoker, or non-smoker, alcoholic, or your age. So it doesn't give any clear difference. Only if you go detail one you can understand. So as a biochemist, if you are there are genes, it's called tumor suppressor gene like P53. There are genes responsible for cancer. So there are many pathways for cancer pathways, so BRCA1, BRCA2, and also these are the genes. And there are like WNT pathway, and also there are many pathways are there. So there are pathways. Each pathway has certain specific point is there. Once it's triggered, then it goes to the cancer is not a disease again, it's almost like a disorder. There will be a multiplication of cells, so that is quite dangerous for a human being. So we so many of family members might have seen the friends family or their own family members. You can see the cancer detection will be there, that particularly for various reasons. If you're obese, you have a cancer history in the family, or it may be due to your environment or eating habits, and there are so many reasons are there, or smoking or alcoholic and so on. So it could be environment also. If environmental pollution is there, and if you are exposed with every day, then it's possible there. So we published in Journal of Molecular Diagnostics. It's called, it's from US, or doctors are studying. So our schematic diagram came in the front page. So we were happy with that. And it's from Journal of Association of Molecular Pathology, it's coming. So review is there. We publish conventional nanotechniques. There are different type of methylation is there. You probably know that MALDI-TOF is there. So if you know the technique MALDI-TOF, you will get a job. That electrochemical detection are there, nanowire transmitter, PCR techniques are there, microarray is there. So now it's popular. All of them know PCR because they're talking about PCR, whether you're taken for COVID-19. So you know the difference between RNA based and DNA based, so on. So we have also published in a journal in not a very high impact factor. It's only a local one, but we have to do only gene we can go for. So I already mentioned whether the DNA methylation is there with the vegetarian, non-vegetarian, or between the smokers, non-smokers, alcoholic, and who have a clean habits. But we could not get any clear evidence from that because whether age related, there is no clear relation between methylation and cancer. So, but the genomic level, I'm saying, if the gene level, there is a possibility. Still, it's not clear because still there, if you understand the cancer pathway, you can go in detail, like P53 pathway or WNT pathway and so on. So we are also compared with the vegetarian, non-vegetarian, and cancer history based. So vegetarian generally they have a higher number of methylation frequency. So it's not whether non-vegetarian have lower frequency. It's not very clear to say whether it's going to help them or not help them, because it's CpGL and methylation. Wherever cytosine guanine will be there, there will be a methylation. Methyl group will be attached. In chemistry, methyl group is there. That's a terminating group. So you know that. So now I'm going to be closer to the presentation in another 10-15 slides. It will be a general one. I already mentioned about WIPO. It's a free of cost and distance learning. If you are really serious about going to a job or higher studies, if you get a certificates from WIPO, you have understanding. So I also encourage here almost like more than 300 to 400 students have received this in our, and faculty members more than 70 they have received it. So it's very quite easy. You can do any number of times. There is no fail concept. Unless you do right time, you will get the certificate in PCT, patent cooperation treaty. You know that if you understand IPR, then it's easy. Also, as a biochemist or biologist, you know that World Health Organization, World Trade Organization, and WIPO together they combine to give promotion of access to medical technologies and innovation, and it's a trilateral agreement between this. So if you are want experience, it's a 60-70 page documents. You read and you answer the question within 20 to 25 minutes. Then if you pass minimum 60 to 70%, you will get it. You can even refer the material, but you will not have a time much. So I already said, like one of my colleagues or classmates from school days, he helped me to learn the intellectual property rights, and he is a patent attorney or a patent agent. Uh, he's a lawyer too. So he, from his April 26th, the World Intellectual Property Organization is celebrating as a World Intellectual Property Day. So I acknowledge Kumara Venkatesan for this and Innovation Institution Innovation Council. Because of this council, I hope this council is also there in your place. Otherwise, you can start immediately. Please join with that. There is a innovation. If you go to Ministry of Education, or you can, they will have an innovation council. If you put Institution Innovation Cell, MOE, Ministry of Education, they will. You can contact Dr. Mr. Madam Selvarani. She is in charge for the South India. Otherwise, I can share her number. You can contact. Please join too. It's helpful for the students as well as faculty members for the institute. Okay, there is a lawyer who has written, Dr. Sheetal. She has written a book. Even school children can understand the IPR, copyright, patent, trademark, design, trade secrets, and so on. So I'm not going into detail. If you go to iptsc.com, you can see that. Ministry of Education, I already mentioned that they are promoting Innovation Council. So it's a Government of India initiative. So India is now gradually progressing to in our ranking on innovation, and so innovation, this the council is which is in the college or university should do concentrate only on 4 agenda, that is innovation, IPR, startup, entrepreneurship. These are 4 not related to research. Of course, small part research can be there, but this more on innovation, intellectual property rights, startup, and entrepreneurship. Resource for researchers. So we have a given. I'm giving a link. I also shared with the convener. So if you want, you can go that. There are many number of, as I know, all over the world and in India. I have given the link for that. If you're really interested to get a scholarship for higher studies, if you go abroad, you need to prove that you're a scholar and have a research ambition. Then it's possible you get a scholarship. Otherwise, at least you will be partially funded. So you can visit this site in our institute, or you can share. I also share. So in the summary, overall in this so far, like patterning of biomarkers I did, and protocols negative, DNA wire I did. So there is a team for us. Almost like without teamwork, it's not possible. It's not like our friends join together and work together. You find a problem. For the problem, who's appropriate, you join with them and do that. So it can be anywhere in the institute or other institute or anywhere even in abroad. So acknowledgement, I should acknowledge Professor Tatsuo Ashinobu, Tohoku University. Now he's moved from Osaka to Tohoku University, who taught me AFM. Because within 10 to 15 days, I was taught by Professor Ashinobu, and there was a South Korean, Dr. Moon was there. And this was supported by Kobe Cluster creation of 21st Century of Excellence, the COE program, DBT project, which we received 70 lakhs from that after coming to India. DST received, it's a teamwork from Nana Mission for 1 crore for running MTech Nanotech. Periyar Manimi also giving a small research grant and the Endeavour Executive Fellowship from Australia. So we are one of the alumni groups. There are more than 3 lakhs students and who returned or who have been to Australia and returned. We are alumni association, a very strong group. One of them is Dr. Kiran Majumdar, also studied her MS in Australia. And now she's heading Biocon, probably you all know that. And also some design. Always you write a design concept and schematic diagram. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. It was very informative session. Now it's time for queries. Please do be interactive and ask questions.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I just no, no, I just have a general question which I was mentioning it in the beginning also. In spite of the awareness about this environmental issues and problems is increasing every year. When we compare the awareness some about 2 decades ago, the present day awareness is very high about all types of problems associated with the health and the environment. But in spite of that awareness, the problem also seems to be increasing proportionately. Where are we making a mistake, or where are we missing something? Like, are we missing something, or Are we lagging or missing out a fundamental point? Because a lot of research is happening, a lot of awareness is happening, government is doing a lot of initiatives, but in spite of that, the categories of environmental problem is increasing. We never heard of e-waste some 2-3 decades ago. Now the e-waste has become the buzzword and things like that. And now people are talking about space, where the debris of things are. I mean, it's getting expanded beyond the planet. I mean, are we heading in the right direction? I mean, I don't know. My question is very blunt.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you, sir. I understand, sir. I thank you very much for it. It's a too big question for myself. It's I'm only a, not so big person to answer such a big question. I can share a few thoughts on it. I
Okay.
hope it will be useful for you as well as the uh, uh, students as well as faculty members. First thing is, whatever government can make a rule, and we should be follow the not following it. We should be self-sustainable, or awareness is important. I can say example, when we were doing a conference, when I am a research scholar, we are traveling from Karnataka from one place to another, where we were going to a temple or sightseeing or something like that. In between there is a forest, so people after drinking a tea, they were throwing the plastic one inside the forest. So immediately the farmers were started taking this plastic. So everyone were, I mean, ashamed, and they're collecting it. So and we talk about environment much, and we don't follow it. That's a basic problem. So all it depends on each one of us. So you know that in environment, we may talk about the global level, but we should do something in our level. So that's the first thing. So our level, having doing a sustainable development. We need a development. We need environment. So we have to develop, because environment also need to be protected. We also need a progressive society. So that's the first point. Next is, in that we can do as much possible, like we can use less vehicles. We can travel in the public domain, but I cannot say this because during a pandemic, probably we don't want to travel in public transport. So these are the concept is going to be there. It all depends with us. So we can make a waste. E-waste, probably one of my colleagues is doing e-waste. Now, even if you throw a small chip, you may not find it anywhere else. Even Excel sheet, you will not find. Even CD sheet, because there are companies in Chennai, everywhere immediately take it out, because there are metals are there which are going to be extracted, but it's quite dangerous. Only certified companies can do. So you might not have seen any X-ray somewhere anywhere else, or CD one, because there are metals are there. If you take silver particles are the X-ray, so they will remove immediately. The problem is with the plastics and so on. Particularly the plastic, the cow is going to eat, and this some of the dangerous conditions where animals are going to take, and it's going to be environment is going to spoil, and so on. So we know, all of us, we know what should not be done. So if we start following in a smaller way, it's going to help in the human. Only the participation is very important. Thank you, sir. I hope it's
Yeah,
useful.
yeah. That's yeah. Whatever we discuss and do research, ultimately, it is the ultimate person. The person, everybody, each person should have that awareness, and of not polluting by not throwing plastic waste or not doing. So that is what is. That's where it comes down to that line. That line only. Whatever we see the problem, ultimately, whether the government is putting the laws. Now they have banned the plastics, carry bags were banned. So whatever the government they try to put rule, unless it is being followed, even police also can insist. But still, the majority, if they don't follow, if they are not really concerned about the earth or their environment, yeah, that's what. Yeah, you are right. That's the only way that we can address that issue. But that seems to be very difficult. Like,
Thank you, sir. There is a question from one of our students from third BSc. So, can you tell me about research project prospects in abroad during this pandemic era? So, I mean, I ask students to carry out, if you're not able to go to lab and do experiments, you can do computational biology. So, please do some computational biology. Try to get a valid exams to be passed, and particularly with IETS or some competitive exams. So if and you show some writing a review paper and read a research article and write to them, discuss with them, it will help you to get a yeah, MS position with the stipend. So that you have to show your intellectual by your smart and hard work. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. This is Jayalakshmi of second year BSc Biochemistry. My question is, can you tell us about the use of nanotechnology in conserving the environment?
A broad question. I work on a small areas. I'm not a big person to tell everything to challenge. So as a nanotechnology can solve, even it can, nanoparticles can kill viruses. But again, it's quite dangerous. If nanoparticle is going to be in the environment, it can go anywhere. So it's quite dangerous. So it's like a SWOT, like in two ways. Like it can kill others and as well as us. So we need to be handle nanotechnology very careful manner to solve the societal problems. So it is possible, like you can using nanoparticles, you can have some super hydrophobic, I already mentioned. So you don't need to use wiper in the car. You can have a shirt or pant. You don't need to clean it because there is will not be dust particle or coffee or something. Something will be there. You can kill viruses where you will have sheets in the hospital with nanoparticles. So virus will not, even if it is going to be disintegrated because spikes are there, it can be that it can be degraded. It's a protein. So this possibilities, if you work, it is possible. But again, it's also another way. If it goes to the environment, it can come. Is automatically we are in the food pyramid, so we are in the top. So it is going to come to us. So that's the point.
Thank
I
you, sir.
hope it's useful because it's too big question to answer because I work. I have only a small type of amount of knowledge in certain packets. I'm not an expert in everything.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your lucid answers. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others. I invite the Vice President of Newberg Crew, Mr. Duke Salto Javad Thomas, of First MSc Biochemistry, to propose a vote of thanks.
Every special moment ends, and the occasion is no exception. A lovely and warm morning to our most valued and worthy guest, Management Committee, respected professor and beloved friend. It is a matter of pride for me that I am proposing the vote of thanks for today's webinar. We would not be here without our alma mater. So first and foremost, I would like to thank our college, Dwaragadas Govardhan Das Vaishnav College, for giving us this opportunity to conduct this webinar today. And I extend my sincere thanks to our Honorable Secretary, Sri Ashok Kumar Muntraji, and respected Principal, Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu. A special thanks to our resourceful and venerable head of our department, Dr. P.T. Srinivasan sir. Being the catalyst, he inspired us to do our best and stand as a pillar of power. Thank you, sir. With deep sense of appreciation, we thank our esteemed department faculties, the Guide Stars. And I would like to thank the organizing secretary of this webinar, Professor M. Maria Caroline Ribolo, ma'am. On behalf of Newberg Crew of Department of Biochemistry, I give a really heartfelt thanks to our forward-thinking, inspiring, industrious, and respected chief guest and today's webinar speaker, Dr. Kumaran Shanmugam, who spent his busiest time gracing to this occasion. Today, we are fortunate to hear your thoughts regarding the research to protect our health and environment. And this is definitely encouraging us in our future events. Thank you, sir. Thanks to the Newberg Crew members who assist us directly and indirectly to make this webinar successful. The essence of fruit is always tasted in the last, and we believe that last will be the best. I'd like to thank all the participants of today's webinar, and all the glory and praises to Almighty whose blessing and grace had made this webinar what it was. This is Duke Sholto signing off. Thank you.